forward neat. Turn the volume up in the driver's seat. It's the mandate, yeah, you know the name. Good times rolling every single frame. Cigars lit and the coffee strong. 1 hour flies, but the bond lasts long. From sunrise talk to that closing line. Brotherhood built 1 week at a time. So mark that clock and don't be late. 9 a.m. sharp for the mandate. Coffee, cigars, bourbon, brothers, the mandate.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
The
How y'all
short
doing?
version of the intro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Buenos dias, la gente de Victoria, Texas. How y'all doing this Saturday? This beautiful Saturday morning.
Ain't it gorgeous? Man, it was nice coming in.
Man,
And by the way, whatever he said.
I can't see, but I can see that it's a great, gorgeous morning.
Well, I just walked outside and it's nice and cool. And
oh yeah.
the grass is wet and green.
Oh yeah.
So did you get rain? How much rain did you get this morning or yesterday?
I think it sneezed on us.
Oh man, it came down like a cat on a hot tin roof.
No, not at all. It made some noise. We got a lot of thunder. We got a lot of noise. You know, kind of rocked me a little bit. Now, I would say it woke me up, but you know, I don't sleep. But yeah, we had to, just a little drizzle mist out there. It's more like a fog.
Yeah,
it felt like a fog, but you know, it was a good day. You know, today would be a great day for
what's that?
Fishing.
Yeah, buddy.
This is great fishing weather because that
buddy.
front is about to come in. It feels like, and those fish get active, and when the stuff like the water starts hitting the water, the water starts hitting the water. Oh man,
you need some coffee, brother.
I need some coffee.
Coffee break.
Coffee break.
We're doing the coffee break early.
Oh yeah, we're doing a coffee break early.
Oh man. Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Nothing better than good coffee. So I'm gonna go ahead and check Facebook. Keep trucking.
Go ahead. So we've got a great new sponsor. While he's checking the Facebook, they designed a banner for us. Basically, this screen that you see up there, behind us, they put that into a banner, and it is gorgeous. It's
perfect.
Phenomenal.
It's perfect. It's what you see behind us is exactly what we got.
Almost pixel for pixel. In fact, I want to say pixel for pixel. In fact, they are so good that I made a couple of hats myself. You know, the leather patches that you can laser engrave. I put those on a couple hats, and I could tell that they were just, you know, slightly off, just a tiny fraction of a hair. But I didn't want at all. You know, that to me, that's the blind man charm.
The blind man charm?
Yes, you know, the blind man charm when it comes to doing crafts and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't want to interfere at all with who they are. These guys they're called Doghouse Design Company. Right. They are located right here in Victoria, Texas.
Shoot their phone number.
Their phone number is 361-541-5048, or you can email them at orders@doghousedesignco.com.
Right.
Or their address, they're right there on a Country Club Drive.
Right behind the Ace Hardware.
The Ace Hardware. I can give out their address, but the easiest way, because everybody knows where Ace Hardware is. Right. Just go right behind. There's that old AC place, right? The AC?
Yeah, it was an old AC store.
So when we went there, the store, the front of it looks deceptively small when you walk in.
Yeah.
The magic happens in the back.
Yeah, of course it does.
That's where they have all of their printing stuff. That's where they make shirts. They make I'm gonna say some things that they do. They do shirts. They do the hats. They do the banners.
Well, they do all kinds of printing. Every kind of printing.
All kinds of printing. But what they also do, they do branding more than just print branding. They do content creation. They do web branding, graphic design. So these graphics that I spend hours and hours and hours of time prompting AI to get it just right.
Exactly.
They can do it for you and make.
Yeah, but Andrew, you're really good at it. I mean, when you sent me the picture that's behind us, I was like, holy mackerel. Well, that was great. And the intro, I don't know what happened to our intro this morning. It's different, but I couldn't find it on there. I'll have to pull it up off my phone if we.
Yeah, so that's a shorter one that we did earlier back when I think even when Zed did our intro.
Yeah.
But Doghouse Designs, the people are great to work with as well.
Exactly.
So they are going to be a monthly sponsor for us this month.
Right.
And starting next week, we will have an official commercial out for them.
Yes, we sure will. They didn't. We picked up the banner too late for them to give us any kind of bullet points. So we could make an audio on them. But yes, we will. And I will be honest with you. When you walk in there, don't be afraid. There's a little dog that runs, or not a little dog, but kind of a big black dog that walks in there, and he's very friendly. So,
and one thing that I really like,
but he startled me.
I'm gonna give a shout out to one of their customers, who is another local business around here, King's Cuts.
Oh yeah. I talked to that guy. Yeah. He's supposed to come in. We'll have him in probably in a couple of weeks.
And they do great work there too. They do my beard every now and then. When it's time to do something important. Otherwise, I do it myself. But
now that's the one in the old Gaddy's building.
The old Mr. Gaddy's building, where we used to go to church.
Absolutely.
Where I conquered my fear of heights.
And that was before he hit the ground.
Yeah, before he hit the ground. While I could still see. But so quick story since we're here. We had a guest, but they got sick and they couldn't show up. So
he called us this morning. I've got body aches,
so it's
coming in.
It's going to be just us. You're stuck with us today.
Yeah, so we've had to really. We're going to have to talk real slow to make sure the content gets put in. Well, let's do a roll call real quick. Right off the bat, we got Stephanie Conti. She's one of our pinnacle listeners.
Oh yeah,
she's been there since the beginning, and then my lovely wife behind her.
Great dancer too, by the way.
Is she a good dancer? Yeah. Next time she's at bingo, I'll have to have her dance for us.
Not that kind.
Not that kind.
No.
Does she salsa?
She I danced with her a couple times over at not Two Step. What's that place called? Shooters. She's just a great person. Love her to death.
Linda will explain the intro here in a little bit when I'm on the way home. But anyways, Mark Kurtz is in. He's one of our pinnacle big listeners.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few that showed up when we first started. So there will be prizes for you guys, autographs and T-shirts with our faces on it.
Prizes of unmentionable value. That's what we used to say. Prizes.
That's
of
Linda's biggest fear.
Value.
People running around town with my face on everybody's T-shirt.
Oh, I can make it happen.
I think that'd be great.
Between me and Doghouse Designs.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that'd be hilarious. It just irritates me when I go to town and people recognize me. I know you. Your voice sounds familiar.
If I could have people running around with my face on their shirts for political stuff, or this non-political fun stuff, we can make it happen.
With a rhino and you holding a big bore rifle.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Pat Strauss is checking in from Gonzales. You guys have a good time up there at that concert. They're at a concert up there in Gonzales. Pat, what's the concert? Text me what the concert is. So, but anyways, he and Lori are up there.
Oh, and shout out to one of our court administrators here in Victoria.
Who's this?
Her name is Tiffany. Not a mandate, but she's a good friend of mine. She's actually been voted like number one something in courts in Texas so many times already.
Oh, you're talking about the court, not the court recorder, but the
no, not the reporter. She's it's like the judge is here, and she's like right there, right.
Yeah. She got the best in Texas for that job last year.
But she's in Vegas right now.
Oh,
for court stuff.
Wow.
I don't know exactly when I lost track of what all she's doing, but for court stuff, she is in Vegas.
Well, put me $1 in the slot machine.
I know, right? The Buffalo. I can't tell you how many times I heard Buffalo while I was sitting in the airport there.
Well, let me get my list that's in my previously nicotine-stained fingers.
Got your list there. So,
Adam, where are you?
Where you at, Adam? So, this comes from me thinking about my dad. And, of course, Mr. Rob here, too, as well. The older of the two of us, the greater of the two of us, I should say.
Only by age.
By age only. And partially myself, too. But, we work. We work a lot. And
still going at it hard.
Still going at it. Well, I'm honest,
I'm in a non-paying position now.
I'll be honest, I'm semi-enjoying the retired life.
Yeah.
Because, I can't work full-time anymore. I really tried my dangest to. But, I still do little stuff here and there, make a buck here and there. But my dad, I can't remember a single day growing up when he wasn't working or wasn't doing something to work. And
absolutely.
He was a truck driver. That was his full-time job. He drove trucks for Texas Concrete, those big old concrete beams.
Absolutely.
He would drive down those. He drove that before the loop was open.
Wow.
When
That must have been fun getting up and down the highway.
Yeah. This is their route because we used to watch them. Where the Pencil Bean is now on Main Street.
Right.
Vine Street is right behind there. There's a
Right.
big old plot of land.
Yeah, that's where you live.
Yeah, we had houses there. And we used to see them all the time, drive by, and they knew our house. All the truckers would drive by, Soto, and everybody would honk their horns and everything at us. And we could always tell which one was my dad because he and I kind of had the same beard, and his stuck out a little bit that way when he was driving, and we knew which one was him. But they would drive from Texas Concrete down Main Street to Houston Highway, turn left there, and
Main
then
Street to Houston. Yeah.
Yeah. That was their route back then before the loop opened up.
Oh my gosh.
That was one hell of a route. And I can't tell you how many times he's had to get other truckers unstuck. He was like the guy, the driver. And sometimes when they would take those 100-foot beams, the truckers missed that turn. Cut it too short. And he was the guy that they got to get him unstuck. So he drove that truck for 40 years.
Man.
And even afterwards, like after work, and this is why it's so hard for me to find people to find why people don't work. After work, he would find beer cans and Coke cans, and on Saturday morning, he had this big old piece of metal. I don't know what it was, but it looked like a big old eye. And he would hit it every morning, bam, bam, wake us up early in the morning, bang, 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 smashing aluminum cans. Because when you smash them, they're smaller and you can fit more in the bucket.
Right. So he recycled.
Yep. And he was
an ecologist, but without a degree.
Yes.
A man. He was a Renaissance man.
Yes. And he would tell me stories about he grew up on Callis Street.
Yeah.
On the corner of Callis and Stevie Street. That's specifically where they grew up.
Right.
Him and his dad, my grandpa, they had a little building there that they had as a service station. They would fix cars there. And he would, at one point in time, walk from there to Woodlawn Lanes to go be a bullpen setter.
Oh, no kidding.
He was at work. He would pick cotton. He would tell us stories about how he would find snakes in the cotton fields.
Absolutely. And spiders.
And play with them. That was his thing. He would play with them. He had them on his belt one time. He thought he found a dead snake. He was going to keep it, eat it, whatever. I don't know what he's going to do with it. But then the snake started wiggling and he had to get rid of it. Probably a copperhead or
yeah, probably so.
But
he always had a job.
He always had a job. Always worked.
And I think that leads us to our first scripture this morning.
It is in Thessalonians.
Thessalonians 3:10.
So the gist of this verse is the main part of it is saying those who are not willing to work won't eat. That is one translation of it. That's
if you don't work, you don't eat.
NASB version of it. There's that version. There's the NIV, the New International Version. The King James Version says something like, "If a man won't work, he won't eat." Pretty flat out, plain and simple.
Yeah, we need to hold people to that too.
We need to hold people to that. If you're not willing to work, you don't eat. There's so much stuff that you can do out there that can make you a buck. And granted, $1 doesn't go a long ways these ways, but you get that $1, you multiply it.
Yeah.
You flip it, not the illegal way.
Yeah.
Guys, come on.
Keep it under the legal terms.
Keep it on. I'm talking about, 10 into 20, 20 into 40, 40 into 80. Everything is gravy. You don't know that.
No, that's way beyond me.
Yeah. But
you millennials.
No, that's oh yeah, I guess.
Millennial.
That is boomer. But anyway,
anything under 30 is or 40 now is a millennial.
So this guy worked, and he was always willing to work. My brother, always willing to work.
Yep.
You always work. I can't ever talk to you without you doing something.
Yeah.
And
I've always got my hands in or on something and working on it.
So that's the point that I wanted to talk about where you at, Adam, today. And this skirts the political thing, and I don't want to talk about it that way. I want to talk about it as a man's responsibility to be that worker, to be that provider.
God did not put us on this earth to sit.
No, he did not. Idle hands are who's?
The devil.
The devil's
the devil?
Toys.
Satan?
Mama said, idle hands are the toys of the devil.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. So, guys.
So, my old man was a Southwestern Bell telephone man for 35 years.
I worked for them.
Worked for the same place for 35 years. And when he would get off from work, we would have supper, but we wouldn't go in and watch TV. We would go to the shop, and we were always building something or working on something or restoring a Model A or this kind of stuff. So there was no idle time.
No.
We were always, and I'll tell you another thing we did. We cleaned up our yard. It's so sad to drive through a neighborhood and see just trash everywhere and grass up to their knees.
See, that is the one thing I think that my dad couldn't do right.
Yard work.
And
that's so wrong.
And I took after him on that one.
I'm not even going to touch that.
I tried, but I pay for people to do mine. But either way, like I remember
right now I can understand it.
Growing up, and we go out and we saw Dad cut the yard because there'd be trails in the grass. And it is just the funniest thing. So we'd have to go out there and
my old man, in Oklahoma City, we had a really nice neighborhood, and it wasn't it was a middle range income neighborhood. It wasn't the high end. It wasn't Nichols Hills in Oklahoma City. Okay, it was a nice neighborhood, but the grass was always kempt, and people kept their houses up, and you weren't allowed to. You could pull your car up on the yard to wash it, but it had to be off the yard by supper time.
That was the start of the HOA.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have. Yeah, this is way before HOA.
Yeah, but that's the start of it. That's what got them started.
Yep. And it kills me that these young kids just cannot push a lawnmower. They say that these young kids want to start a revolution, but they can't start a lawnmower.
Let them start a revolution.
And what's funny is the best anti-theft device is a standard shift car.
All right, has 5 speeds on it.
By the way,
can you imagine if they tried to do 3 on the tree?
Yeah.
Woo.
Oh man, 3 on the tree just blows their mind like a rotary phone. Patrick says that concert is called Cattle Country this weekend.
Cattle Country, nice.
Yep.
Oh, Michael Salgado is going to be playing over at the Stockyards. I'm not sure if you know who Michael Salgado is, but on the 24th, free plug, Michael Salgado and a bunch of other different bands are going to be playing at the Stockyards in Fort Worth. Michael Salgado, he is one of my favorite Tejano stars.
Yeah.
He plays a song called Cruz de Madera. And
say that 3 times fast.
Cruz de Madera. Cruz de Madera. Cruz de Madera.
Sábado.
Which basically means wooden cross. Cruz means cross.
Right.
And which ironically is also my dad's name, spelled the exact same way, CRUZ.
Is that what that means?
Yes, cross.
I'll be dang.
De Madera. Madera is wood. And the gist of this song is when he dies, that he doesn't want a big
ceremony,
no big monument or anything. Give him a wooden cross, and then people have a party. In fact, I put out a song day before yesterday that's kind of my Cruz de Madera, and it's called 21 Drum Salute.
Cool.
I don't, no sadness, no whatever. I want a 21 drum salute. That's the one thing I ask for. Everything else is for you, for those people.
Right.
I just want the 21 drum salute. That's what I want.
Do you think, how many people, just out of curiosity, you've known me for a long time, and I'm definitely a entity to be dealt with.
Okay.
How many people you think would show up to my funeral just to make sure I'm in the box?
So we have pre-recorded a voice sample to be buried with him. It's going to sound like he is hitting on the outside of the box. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Hello. Can you hear me?
I want the casket door to open up and my body to raise up and my hand to go wave.
Wow.
Just to see all the people in the crowd go, oh no.
Have you seen those funerals where those people that, like, I don't know what they're called, but it's like a viewing or whatnot, but they almost taxidermy the people and they'll have them like sitting in a chair at the house.
Oh no, that's just wrong.
Oh my goodness. That is just, no.
That's just wrong.
No.
So basically, let's go back to what we were talking about. Working.
Yes.
So the deal is we as fathers, grandfathers, aunts and uncles, okay, and I threw the aunts in there because, hey, you're a part of this too now, women. We need to impress upon our children to have a good work ethic.
Besides, shout out to the women. How many women celebrate Father's Day too? Because they're that kid's father and the mother.
That's right. And I'm gonna tell you right now that something that hit. I'm glad you said that because something hit me this week between shows. If you're an uncle and your brother has passed away,
you're the dad.
You're the dad. You need to step up and pull that kid in. Every time you take your son fishing, that boy needs to go fishing. Or that little girl needs to go fishing. You need to step up because that's, familia. Okay.
He spoke Spanish.
Yeah. Ain't that good? But I got it right too.
That's like my Theo Johnny Ray. My dad, it's my dad's brother. I didn't really know my mom's family because she moved here from California. So I didn't get to meet too many of them for very long. There's a couple that came over. My Uncle Albert, Uncle Hank, I think came over. I just didn't get that close to them because they were only here for a little bit. But Johnny Ray, I call him my second dad because he really is. He really is my second dad. And right now he's like my spiritual dad. He's an older guy, Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart. So he can't do too much physically right now. But he's back to the whole work thing. He is 70-something years old, and he is building a house right now.
Yeah.
Building a house.
And see, you need to go over and grab these young boys. They're going to fuss. They're going to cuss and I don't want to get out of bed. I want to play my video games. You grab them up and go, get in the car, get in the pickup. We're going to go build a dog house or we're going to build a bird house. We're going to go make something.
We're going to go cut some grass.
And
fix a car.
I'm going to tell you a story. We had a young lady at a church we went to, and she had a young son. She was a single mom. And I was taking this kid with me, right? I took him fishing, and I took him this, that, and the other. So I needed some help around the house. And we were taking and building a shed in the backyard. I said, we're going to build this shed today. We're going to set the foundation for a building in the backyard. I had him help me out. Man, that kid would get the pickup after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, okay, fine. I told his mom, I said, he needs to understand that I won't take him fishing. I'll take him do what this, that, and the other. But Uncle Rob needs some help every now and then.
Yep.
And he's going to have to come over and I don't want to say pay back, but earn those trips to the beach or reciprocate in the receiving of the joy that he gets. There's no such thing as a free sandwich.
No, there's not. And that's where the work comes in.
Yes.
Because working, whether it's at a 9 to 5, at a 9 to 9, as a lot of people do, or
I work 12-hour days.
For a kid, taking out the trash, taking out
an adult should not touch a garbage sack until the kids are gone.
Cleaning your room, stuff like that, the chores type stuff. That's still work.
And I don't think that children should get paid to take out the trash. I think that they get fed for free.
That's kind of a responsibility, though. I mean, I can't have a kid without feeding the kid. That's my response. That's just the way I see it.
They need to. That's your house. That is your place that they live in at no cost. I had them to impress upon work ethic. They can take the dadgum trash out. They can sweep up the kitchen.
You sound like my mom.
I wonder why.
No, but look, my mom would do this. Hey, mijo, do you want to take out the trash? ¿Cómo que no?
See, the deal is, do you want to take out the trash? No, I don't. As an adult, I don't want to take out the trash. It's, mijo, grab that plastic bag and put it on the curb, Papa.
Or, mijo, do you want to help me pull this transmission? No, I'm busy. ¿Cómo que no?
That's right. So, anyways, hey, Bob Constantine's checking in.
Oh, what's up, Bob?
He's on the 10th floor of a hospital at Methodist in Houston, and he will be home shortly to be a pain in my derriere, I'm sure. But he said that they need to earn their entitlement.
I'm gonna teach you a word that you can say on the radio.
Oh, what's that?
Culo.
Culo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why I say that is because Pitbull says it all the time.
Yeah.
So if he can say it, I can say it. Dang it.
So get well better. Bob, man, come on home. We miss you.
Yeah, come on home.
Let's see. We should teach them to handle money. Something very important. Very good point, Linda.
You know, my two kids that I live with now, I call them kids, but one's 21, one just turned 19 yesterday. Happy birthday, AJ, by the way. They are actually being really responsible with finances.
Okay.
And I haven't even taught them yet. But I have, like, the oldest one, I'm not going to get into specifics, but is telling me the stuff that they are doing with their money. And it just amazes me that they're doing this on their own.
Well, it's amazing when you find out what FICA is.
Oh, yeah.
How
right.
conservative it makes somebody.
Right. That's like, being a financially conservative, fiscally conservative. And what did he try to get me to say? This is my politics for the day. Fiscally conservative, socially moderate. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But either way, and both of them have helped tremendously with the finances around the house.
Well, that's good. But here's another thing. If your kid turns 18, not going to college, but working a job, I'm sorry, they need to pay rent.
They're working a job.
They need to pay rent. Now, it's at a moderate rate. You don't charge them $1,000 a month.
And, they each have their own. The one that works the most, makes the most, pays the biggest bills.
Right.
The youngest one pays the smallest bill, and it's proportionate. What they really do a lot around the house, though, is they help me around the house, to keep it safe, to keep it the inside of the house, keep it accessible for me. If I need to find something and they see me, oh man, poor kids. Like, it'll be in the morning when I wake up and I'm like looking in the spoon drawer for the can opener or whatever. Clink, 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 clink. What are you looking for?
Oh, you just better be glad you don't live with me. I'd be moving the furniture around.
Oh man, that is the worst. That is the worst because the cats do that. The cats will do that. They'll knock something off, and I'm walking there with a cup of coffee, and then boom, oh, there's another cup.
Oh yeah, move the furniture around. I think if I was blind, Linda would move the furniture around just so I would run into stuff so she could have a good laugh.
Only a quarter of an inch at a time.
That's right. Just a little bit, just enough to stub my toe.
But it's right there. I could hear her innocent voice saying that right now. I didn't move it.
I didn't. You're just thinking it.
Oh man.
Nah, she wouldn't do that, but that's funny. But let's go back to the kids working in the house as young kids. I'm not talking about a 5-year-old kid. I'm talking about a 5-year-old should be able to pick up their own room.
Yes, pick up their toys, something like that.
Yes.
And when my kids were growing up, it didn't have to be spick and span perfect, but we were there to help them.
Yep. At 5, I was wanting to, dress myself. I do remember this, wanting to, pick out my own clothes and that kind of stuff. But the one thing that I had no choice on every summer was my hairstyle. My dad would line up all us boys in the family that were my age, and we would have a haircutting party.
Oh, wow.
And it was burr haircuts, man. They would line us up, and we would clip it off, and I'd have like a half inch of hair on top of my head. And that was the way it was until I was about 10.
See, Mom cut our hair, but I think she forgot to cut my hair a lot. I grew up with kind of an afro almost.
Yeah.
Not by choice.
And now you pray for it.
Right now, I wish I had hair. But
well, actually, I can fix that, Andrew.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I have the cure for baldness.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
I'm afraid to.
No. This really works.
What is it?
You take 2 yolks of an egg, you mix salt with it, okay, and you make a paste. You put green lemon concentrate juice, lime concentrated juice, and green persimmon juice. You stir it all up. You add a little bit of flour to it to make it kind of a paste, and you add a whole bunch of salt to it, and you just paste it up, and you make a poultice.
Are we making
a poultice
ointment or some margarita pancakes?
No. It's a poultice. You put it on top of your head. Then you wrap gauze on it to keep the flies out of it, okay? Because you're going to leave it up there for 5 days. On the 5th day, you go take it off in the shower and you wash your hair.
Oh, there's going to be hair there.
Yes. It's not going to grow. It's just going to suck your beard and sideburns up on top.
Yeah. That's. I was going to say, that sounds like some sana brujeria stuff there. You know, give me the sage and the cilantro, the Vicks Vaporub.
Yeah, Robert Constantine says, crew cuts. Yeah, absolutely, man. We never had hair.
Instead of the lime and the whatever.
The lime and the coconut.
Put some tahini in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but boy, all that pucker.
Yeah, no.
It sucks that hair right up on top.
I'm good. I'm good. No.
We could get you a toupee.
Why? I'm sexy like this.
Oh, you think?
Let me take this hat off.
When's the last time you seen your head?
When's the last time I saw?
Well, that's the point.
I took a pretty good campaign picture.
Yeah, you did. And the picture up above us is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's, we look ruggedly handsome on that. AI is a wonderful thing.
But I always look ruggedly handsome.
Yeah. Yep.
I look mexcellent.
So mexcellent. That is a good word. That is really good. A mexcellent.
Yep.
I have a good bohemian personality. So,
oh geez.
Round and bubbly.
Round and bubbly.
That's it. So, anyways, back to the raising of children. See, this actually doesn't just cover little boys. This covers little girls too. Little girls, I hate to say it, they need to learn how to cook. Little boys need to learn how to cook.
More than just ramen.
Yes. Yes. I'll be honest with you. I taught Derek, my youngest one, to cook.
Mm-hmm.
And he's good. He will make one of the best squash, those big acorn squashes.
Yep.
Oh man, he can cook that. He puts like chicken meat and cheese and seasonings and all kinds of vegetables and then bakes it. Oh, it's wonderful. But I took the time to set him down and open up a book and we went through one of those Better Homes and Gardens cookbooks. And ladies, that's one of the best things you can get your little boys for about their 15th or 16th birthday is a Better Homes and Garden cookbook.
Do you remember home economics class?
Yes.
I remember taking that.
I was one of their biggest samplers.
I think I was too.
They would call me in and go, "Hey, we cooked some stuff. You want to try it?"
No, I would sample.
Oh, okay.
I'd sample my own stuff, and I never had enough to turn in.
Yeah.
Because I always ate it. I was a big kid back then.
Yeah.
I weigh less now than I did when I weighed in for 8th grade football.
No way.
8th grade football is 264.5 pounds.
Mama.
And I am at 220 now.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's not all good weight loss. Don't get me wrong. It's not all good weight loss, but we all know that I've had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But
there's probably 15 pounds of toes.
My feet aren't that big.
Oh, okay.
So the song that I posted yesterday, I tried hard to change the lyrics because I wrote the lyrics out and I tried hard to change the lyrics on there, but I just couldn't get it just right to re-sing that part. So I just left it in there.
Of course.
The line was sitting 10 toes to the ground.
10 toes.
And after production, and mastering it and everything, I went in and I was like, man, that should have been 8 toes to the ground.
8 toes.
So
okay, so here's another thing. Let's continue on with the kids.
Well, we got another sponsor.
Well, where was
what time is it?
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Okay.
Let's hit this, then we'll do the sponsoring. The grandkids and uncles and nephews, we all get together on weekends as family with aunts and uncles, and the kids are all running around, la da 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 da. Pull that little man in and that girl and hand them a spatula and show them how to flip a burger on the grill.
Grandmothers,
do
not take your granddaughter to get her hair cut short without the parents' authorization.
Oh yeah, well that's a personal thing.
Yes, that's a personal.
That one kind of cuts to home.
That's personal. That's just to this day I am still mad about that. And 15 years ago.
Yeah. Well, grandparents make mistakes too, but you can't beat them up. And that now, see, you have that kind of a thing. My thing is because I am a this is my political moment, and I am a conservative Christian male with a very strong faith in Jesus, and my children are not so strong in it, and I don't get to see my grandkids because of that, and that really, really burns my derriere about it. You shouldn't punish the grandparents are just as vital in that child's rearing as the parents are. In fact, I think they need to know where their heritage is, because then they don't know where they come from. They don't know their family history. And you can't leave your legacy to a family that's like that.
Yes. But your grandparents have to be careful. They've got to walk a line.
There are borders.
Because there is no such thing as grandparents' rights.
No, there's not. There used to be.
There used to be, but there's not.
And they took them away.
The only way a grandparent will have rights is if a judge puts them there. And that's on a case-by-case situation, and both parents have to be deemed unfit parents.
Yes, but that's not a
1 in a million chance
visitation thing. That's actually a custody thing.
Yes,
I'm talking about, hey, I want to see my grandkids next weekend. Bring them in.
Yeah, no.
And drop them off and go away. Look, I've seen my kids for 30, 40 plus years. I've seen enough of them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see my grandkids, and I want to be able to take them fishing. I want to be able to take them to the shooting range. I want to be able to take them out and put them on a side by side that's got buckles and helmets, and make sure that they're safe, and let them be kids.
Mm-hmm.
And there are grandparents out there like me who don't have that because their kids have gone off the deep end.
Prodigal kids.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, you won't see there are things that you won't see after I'm dead. And one of them is my heritage.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very strong Czech heritage. I cook a lot of Czech foods, and I drink a lot of Czech liquors and beers.
Speaking of.
And I think that I should be able to share that with my grandchildren. And there are people out there like me who do not get that, and that is totally wrong and abiblical.
I didn't get to be around my grandfather much because he passed away when I was real young, but my grandmother, I was around her all the time when I could be. She was always cooking. One thing that we remembered her was that
the smell of that kitchen, baby.
She had those old cast iron pans.
Yes.
And she would make scrambled eggs, and they would not stick. Nothing stuck to those pans. Oh man, it was so good. And, oh man, just one of those phones that was on the wall that you just turned, rotary phones.
I got one even better than that. How about the old clock on the wall that was the cat? The tail swung back and forth, and the eyes went back and forth.
Oh no, that one's scary.
That thing was cool. That was the one thing I
don't remember what kind of clock they had. I think they had I think they had just a digital clock back then.
But you know something? Here, the reason we have those memories is because our parents took us and dropped us off, left, and we had one-on-one time with our grandparents.
And while we're talking about grandma's house, I got to give because my aunt lived with her. My aunt took care of her in her last years. I've got to apologize to my cousin Randall, though. He's probably he might be listening for all the times we went over there, made a mess with he had tons of Hot Wheels, tons of cars.
Oh yeah, you left a mess, didn't you?
It just left. Poor thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, cuz.
Yeah. He probably cussed you hard.
Oh, I probably. But man, those are the moments that you don't forget.
Well, the moments that you don't forget with your grandparents is in the summertime, my grandfather would pick me up and we would go play golf.
Never played golf.
And I never played golf. I didn't get to play.
Mm-hmm.
My job was to go jump in the lake and pull out golf balls for him.
You still got all of your toes and fingers?
Yes. But see, Oklahoma didn't have any alligators, so we were good.
Snapping turtles?
That has a couple of snapping turtles.
I've seen them.
Yeah. But my job, and I never went deeper than, waist deep.
Yeah.
But I would feel them with my feet and then go down and get them. And he'd show up with 6 golf balls and leave with like 3 dozen. So,
wow.
But yeah. And by the way, that's how Lee Trevino started
I've only ever
his
played one
career.
round of golf. It was a half course too in Alvin.
Yep.
That's when I started working from home, and a good friend of mine was a band director over there at Alvin High School.
Yep.
And well, since you play golf, which I might try to get him on the show here. He's a band director over in El Campo now, I think. But he's also like one of the only people that went to visit me in the hospital when I was in Houston for that 8 weeks. But it took me like 3 weeks to hit a ball straight prior to our game because I would hit the ball and it would go that way.
Yeah, it's called a hook and a slice.
Yes. I sliced more than a loaf of bread, but it was fun.
Well, Linda, my wife, says grandmothers should not do any body sculpting by clothes and toys only. No haircuts, no piercings.
Oh, okay. I get it. I was like,
yeah.
I heard that wrong. I was like, no, grandma shouldn't be doing any body sculpting on themselves.
Yeah, well, no, on the children.
And then you talked about clothes and toys. I'm like, I heard the word buy, which evidently is B-U-Y.
Yeah.
How Linda said it. I heard B-Y.
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
no.
Linda,
basically, she's sometimes, but she's right on this one.
Oh, yeah.
You
Absolutely.
just went to Lalaville.
That way.
So, and I agree. Don't, if the kid comes in and her hair's a mess, go brush her hair and pull it back in a ponytail. Who cares?
Unless the parents say to do it.
Right. Hey, we got a haircut. Can you take them over to it?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. But here's the deal. We got to respect our boundaries as grandparents.
Yes, we do.
Okay. I will be honest with you. When my granddaughter was born, the day she was born, I went and bought her a .22 rifle. It's in my gun safe.
Nice.
For her. My grandson, I did not. And there's reasons for that. But anyways, so, but I was scolded for that. And so that's why I didn't do it. Oh, she'll never shoot it. We don't believe in guns. That's good. Then I'll just keep it here, and it'll be for her when she gets older for her kids.
Yeah.
And that'll come around. So anyways, but you got to respect your boundaries as grandparents. But here's the deal. You got to be able to be grandparents. You got to be aunts and uncles. There's a saying that I absolutely love. Parents are for discipline. Grandparents are for spoiling. Aunts and uncles are for making memories. Okay. There's a video of a father coming down a water slide with his son, and he's got him, and he hits the ground, and the kid never goes into the water because his wife's watching, the mother. The grandparents come down, and he slides in, and he gets a little wet. The uncle, oh, heck no. It's in, dousing, baptismal, and then he grabs the kid and pushes him out of the water before his head comes out of the water. And that kid is just laughing his derriere off because he knew that was fun, and that's how it was supposed to be done. The kid's alive. We didn't dent them. We didn't scratch them. But we as aunts and uncles need to be able to have fun with our nieces and nephews and make memories with them. Agreed?
Yes. I learned how to swim back on Vine Street. That it's a gravel pit is what it is.
Yeah, I know where you're at.
So we went to the back side of it.
Right.
And
swam across.
No. We didn't go back to our roots. But my brother was in karate.
Only you can get away with that.
Yeah, I could get away with that. My brother was in karate, and he had a bunch of karate belts. So my dad tied them together, bunch them together, tied that one into me, and threw me in the lake.
And that's how you learned to swim.
That's how I learned to swim, kinda.
Uh-oh. Linda is hitting us. It is time for commercials.
So real quick, where I landed, there was like a little sandbar there.
Right.
I was doing the pedal, but I wasn't moving. I was like, look, Dad. I remember that. Look, Dad, I'm swimming. But I wasn't moving because I was only like in belly deep water.
Right.
So there was nothing for me to move around in. But I thought I was swimming. I thought I was Michael Phelps or back then,
Right.
Cool.
So that's how you learned how to swim.
That's how I learned how to swim.
Well,
Muddy water with an alligator.
I taught my kids to swim basically the same way, but I put life jackets on them.
Oh no!
And we were in a boat in the middle of in a lagoon in a lake.
Our life jacket was the karate belts tied together.
That's funny.
That is.
So, and I put the jackets on them. I got them all three, and then I said, look out over there. And they're out looking at the water, and I just start grabbing life jackets and picking them up and throwing them in the water. And these three screaming kids going into the water, and they're hitting and they're screaming. I'm like, what are you screaming for? You're floating.
Wow.
Now swim.
And put your feet down.
Put your feet down. And, one of them's mouth was always open because she was yelling at me. And I said, swim, damn it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we have one more sponsor to do, and hopefully it will come across just fine. If not, Linda, tell me if it came across. Here we go. Is it playing? There it goes.
Life is full of important moments and important decisions. When it comes to protecting your family, your assets, and your legacy, having the right legal guidance matters. At Estate Wise Legal Group, LLP, we specialize in estate planning, probate, guardianship, and litigation. Whether you're planning for the future, navigating the loss of a loved one, or facing a legal dispute, we're here to help, and we're here to guide you every step of the way with clarity, compassion, and confidence. Call 361-573-0183 or visit www.estatewiselegal.com to schedule a consultation today. Estate Wise Legal Group, LLP, protecting what matters most.
There you go. He's a really good friend of mine, Robbie Reese. He's a lawyer here in town. Fantastic guy. He was our guest last week, right?
He was. Thank
a lot of fun.
Thank you to both of our sponsors for sponsoring the show. So,
Robbie, we're going to breakfast over at the restaurant. If you'd like to buy us breakfast again this Sunday, we're always available.
So, a previous guest that we had on, I'm going to talk about something new. I'm not sure if you've seen this or not, but do you remember the boxing coach Ray Bettis that we had on?
Yes, nice guy.
I was working with him on a project, so to say. But for me, it's going to be it's unfeasible for me to do that because it costs a lot of money to put on that type of event. We're looking at like about $20,000, unless there's somebody out there that wants to sponsor this event. Have you seen the Power Slap event?
Those are crazy.
My goodness!
And those women, they hit them so hard their noses bleed.
I saw one. There are these two. These super heavyweights. One of them's over 450 pounds. One of them's over 350 pounds. No necks on these guys. Just loads of like.
I don't watch the guys. I just watch the women's one.
I was watching this.
They're
one.
meaner.
Yeah, they are. They are. But these guys, two huge beasts of men, and the bigger guy was taller. I think he was Russian. He got laid out by the shorter guy.
Mm-hmm.
Some country guy. You could tell he was all country, redneck, everything. But they were just going back and forth and back and forth. And then what really got him is you can't flinch. If you flinch,
that's it.
The other guy gets another hit, a free hit. So there's two fouls. There's two big fouls on this. There's flinching. That is whenever the person getting hit. Well, first of all, what power slap is there's these two contestants that stand on opposite sides of a little table. It looks kind of like an arm wrestling
professional
table.
Slapping the snot out of somebody.
Yes, it kind of looks like an arm wrestling table without the pads, but you take slaps back and forth. They go from 3 to 5 rounds. So these two guys, there's two types of fouls. There's clubbing. That is where the person slapping uses the ball of their hand. And then there's flinching. That is where the person being slapped moves.
Yeah.
So clubbing, you get a point foul on that one. Flinching, the person gets a free slap. That's the hard one. Because by the time that happens, when that person flinches, one, they're already mentally checked out.
Yeah.
2, when they're mentally checked out, they're going to be susceptible to be knocked out
Yeah.
more
And that happens too.
often. Three, when they get that second hit, they get knocked out a lot of
Yeah.
times. And my goodness, this guy, he was short. He had to reach up to slap him. And he just knocked the ever living daylights out of this guy. He went down, face hit the table.
Yeah. I've
and
seen that
then
before.
he sat down and he tried to get back up. And the ref was like, no, you can't do that. No
Well,
more."
you know, I'm going to shift gears on you because you brought something up this morning on the way in that was very, very interesting. And we need to, this country needs to look into this. There's a lady in Colombia that has
Brazil.
developed, or I'm sorry, Brazil, that has come up with an injectable regenerative treatment for paraplegic
Paralysis,
patients. And her name is, give me a minute, I wrote it down here.
Tatiana something. Or
Yeah,
another.
Tatiana Sampaio. And she is missing.
She's missing. So
Yeah.
the cool thing about her, the work that they have done is 6 patients of hers now, 6 of them
Or walking.
are walking.
Yes.
Paraplegics are walking. And this is where, you know, what happens to these people. Like there's so many scientists out there that have gone missing after finding a big breakthrough. But we need to protect these people.
Yeah.
We need to protect these people. She went missing about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, prayers out to her.
But that's really fascinating that they're coming up with this. Now, I will be honest with you. They are using the stem cell research out of placentas.
Placentas, the
So,
afterbirth.
But, you know, as long as they stick to that,
Yes.
then, that's okay.
If it was any other way, I would not be talking about it right now at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that's what got us in trouble in the
Yes.
past. But okay, so that's the political line where we stop. So what can we do to make our children stronger as adults? How do we stop making these soft children and making them hard?
Teach them how to do some woodwork.
Yeah, I do too. I think that
I'm
carpentry.
Looking, you know, I'm
bring back shop class in high school.
I am really looking forward to getting back into my wood shop. And I recently, as in Monday, had my pick line taken out.
I did not notice that. You're wearing long sleeves.
I'm wearing long sleeves. Well, because, you know, I'm real cold-natured.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't have a pick line in anymore. So what does that also mean?
More bourbon.
I can have some bourbon.
Yeah.
So I gave myself almost a week. Maybe it was a work week. And I had one beer last night. But
so good.
Let me tell you. Afterwards, I went
so good.
like almost 2 months without one.
Yeah.
But I am itching. In fact, my shop is a mess. You've seen it. It is a mess. There's dust all over the place. The kids were in there doing their thingy, whatever. I've got to get in there, put my ozone machine in there, just let it just go and clean it out. But I'm ready to get back on my lathe, get my bandsaw fixed.
Exactly.
I got some Purple Heart that I'm dying to turn.
You know, I don't think I've told you this, but I've got a present for you.
Do you?
Yeah. One of our friends has got a lathe over there for you.
Oh, nice.
So it's a bigger lathe.
It's a bigger lathe, yeah. I've got a mini lathe right now that's perfect for making batons, but
yeah, this one here is going to be, you're going to be doing some bowls.
That's what I wanted to get. I made a bowl that big.
Yeah. That's a thimble.
It's a thimble.
Yep.
Shot glass.
This next week we should be able to go over and get it.
Cool.
So and a nice sander.
Nice.
But here's the deal: you got to promise to, make a cut, count to 10.
Make a cut, count to 10.
That's right.
Explain.
You make a cut on the saw, and you always count to 10. That makes sure all the fingers are still on the hand.
Oh, okay. I was thinking cutting in with the lathe with the parting tool or something. How am I supposed to do that? Cut one.
Okay, Linda has a comment here.
Yes.
Well, actually, we got a couple of comments here. Let's see. Let's dig into them here.
Come on, you're slacking.
We only got 6 minutes. Stephanie Connie, don't do woodworking with bourbon. It could end up badly.
Well, I don't do bourbon when I'm doing woodworking.
Absolutely.
I might have a cigar.
I can see that.
But I can't see it to begin with. So
yeah,
it's like I'm always having doing woodworking with bourbon.
Let's see here. And my wife, Linda, said you would have to start that soon after the spinal injury. Otherwise, there would be a muscular wasting.
Oh, what's that word? What's that word called?
Atrophy.
Atrophy, yes.
Yep.
Which brain atrophy is a real thing. Kids
Yes,
get
it
out
is.
there. Kids get out there and use your brain.
Well, you know, I think I've mentioned this once before. When we went to Germany a couple of years ago, there was a military officer, a lieutenant, and he was on leave. But and we all were sitting around, you know, having libations and sitting around the fire and talking. And he said that the biggest problem they're having with the recruits is small bone fractures and hairline fractures, because the kids did not get up and actually exercise and go play soccer.
Vitamin D.
And just the simple fact of walking and running makes your bones stronger.
You know why it does that?
Yeah, because it breaks down
it causes microfractures.
Yeah,
and that heals. It's same thing with muscles.
Absolutely. So they've got a problem with this, and they're having a lot of the recruits that are having to be put on light duty for short periods of time until those fractures heal up. And then, but eventually it does cure itself. But here's the deal. We've let our kids get sedimentary, and they're getting weak. And I'm sorry, I think that's just totally wrong. I think we need to kick them out. When I was a kid, my mom would go, "Hey, there's a squirrel in a tree out there. Why don't you go, play with it?" And I'm like, "Squirrel, tree." I'd go chew the bark off, and I'd hear the sliding glass door close, and then it would be like click.
Mom would tell us, "Go fly a kite."
Yeah. And we wouldn't be let in for 2 or 3 hours because she was sick of dealing with me.
I tell you, some kids that aren't sedentary and they are about to have the time of their lives. I've said it before and I'll say it again. In fact, under this, I'm wearing the shirt, Drum Corps.
Yeah.
Move-ins start within the next week or two. Blue Coats actually are moving in a week. Well,
that's not only just physical. It's also mental.
It's mental. Drum Corps. So the way it is now, these kids have to memorize breathing patterns. They have to memorize choreography. They have to perform the choreography.
Play the instruments while marching.
The music. And move props and stuff. They're basically performing theater while moving.
Yeah.
200 beats per minute across the field running. And they say band isn't athletics.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if there's nothing wrong with being in the band.
Oh no, I was in the band.
Yeah, I was too.
That's what helped me graduate high school.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed band because concert season was my favorite season. I wasn't a marching band season.
Oh no, it was all about the field for us.
No, I was all about the concert music because I really, really liked.
And then after marching season was over, we were getting ready for the next one.
Yeah. And it was hot. We had wool uniforms, and then we ended up having to go to them damn football games.
Loved it.
It was okay. Marching band was okay.
If I could go back, I would 20 times over.
Nope. I love sitting in an orchestra pit and playing, Sousa pieces and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was nice too.
But we also had the stage band.
That was fun.
Stage band was good. And see, if you put your kids in music in 6th grade, it's going to drive you nuts until about 9th grade because they're learning how to play. But by about 9th grade, they've got it.
Unless they join the drum line.
Yeah. And then everywhere you go in the restaurant, they're thumping on the table.
Everything is a drum.
Yes. It's called drummer's disease.
Yes.
So, in fact, you have it. I've caught you several times doing it.
Hey, we don't make mistakes. We flam.
Yeah. But it helps them develop mathematics skills.
Yep.
That drum line and the music and the rhythm, it's all math. So it really makes their math skills so much better. Well, hey, we only got 15 seconds left.
All right.
Andrew, another great show.
Yes, sir.
I hope everything went okay with the sound and everything this week. So last week was kind of a bad situation. We had some electrical issues.
Like, share, subscribe our page at The Mandate Show TX. Thank you to 95.9 FM, Lopez Broadcasting.
KHMC, Magic
Naughty Bitterly.
95.9
Thank you
FM,
for listening,
Goliath,
gal.
Victoria,
I
Lopez
caught
Broadcasting.
you. All right, guys. See you next week.
Te deseo lo mejor, mijo. I love you forever.